Hello, YouTube community. I had today ventured out to collect some seeds of the plant, the Artabotris hexapterus. And I collected the fruits which were ripe and had dropped off the tree, and they were on the ground. Most were ripe, all were ripe. A few were overripe and were decaying. The flesh was decaying. So I collected the seeds, the fruits along with the seeds, and I found them heavily infested with maggots. And those maggots were having a very unique feature. They were jumping. What they would do is they would bring the anterior and posterior ends together so as to form a loop, and then they would just spring jump, and they would jump to over 6 inches, though their sizes were less than a centimeter. So that was quite remarkable, and I have a few of them still alive. Hopefully, some of them, most are dead. These are just a few which are remaining. These are the larvae of the Mediterranean fruit fly, the Ceratitis capitata. So what they do is they just jump, and their jump is pretty unique. And what I had done was I had washed those seeds, soaked them in water for about 4 hours or so, and thereafter when I came, I found most of them were like, I suddenly realized to just observe a few of them under the microscope, and then I found them almost dead just for a few of them. So one of those ones is here on the slide. Let me get in a bit close. One of those is on the slide here. Here. One is on the slide, and it is appearing as if it has been packed. It's only, I have placed 2 cover slips along with it so as to keep it its ventral side upwards so that I can observe. And this is what was remarkable. When I observed it, I saw that though this larvae had been immobile for more than an hour or so, but when I observed it under the microscope, I realized that its body fluids are in a pulsating movement. That is, the heart is beating, or maybe the hearts are beating, and there is a hemolymph which is flowing in a pulsating manner. So I would like to share that with you, that despite being completely immobile, this creature is still alive. By all the meanings of life, it is still alive. So let me get a focus, arrange the microscope. It's quite a shabby sort of hardware that I have here. Please cope with that. As long as it fulfills the purpose, I'm good at. So now, we won't be taking too long, just a few minutes, because I'd like to make some more observations directly. So here, now I'll bring them in focus, align them properly. This may take about a few minutes. All right. Almost there. Okay. It's only a matter of a minute before this entire setup is aligned properly. There. So what I've done is I've oriented the animal in a vertical alignment with this part This particular, okay, oh, I moved it again. Sorry, need to bring it back. I'm not yet fully happy. What am I doing here? Okay, let it be for the time being. I won't go for that very precision. Oh, sorry, that was my fault. So first I'd like to show you the face. This is the mouth. Let's zoom in a bit more. And I'll bring the mouth in focus. You will notice two black spines. These are anterior spines, not these ones. There are two black curved spines here. These ones. You can better appreciate them with a top light. I'll cut the bottom transparent light. These two curved things on the top. Now it is moving as well. It's now moving. Yes, it is moving. All right, that's a great news. So this is my quest is that was this fellow comatose? Now I'll put the transparent light. What's wrong with this today? Everything is going tipsy-turvy. Okay. No. What the hell? What is this? Okay. So now this is the transparent light. As I said, this fellow had been drowned for more than 4 hours and is now, when I was observing it under the microscope, I have observed something very unique which I'd like to share here with the community. It is that the body is showing some pulsating movements and it is so thin, you can also see the muscle strands, and beyond the muscle strands, you can also see its nerve endings, blood vessels, and other things. And you can make out some small movements inside the body. That is the hemolymph, movement of the hemolymph. Now I'm going further down the body. Now you see the blood vessels. Mind it, these are still functioning, the blood vessels and the neural tissue. And this is the point where I came to realize that this animal, despite not showing any movement, is still alive, because you can make out these blood vessels or these muscle strands, they are pulsating, they are moving. Let me try to focus them, and then you can see some hemolymph flow. The body fluids are flowing, you can make out, and then you can also make out there is a pulsating movement in all these interior arrangements. There you see, these are the vessels, and it is pulsating. And there is in the center, see, there is a very prominent movement now. The movement is very prominent, and here it is much, much more. You can make out the flow of the body fluids very prominently, which shows that this animal is alive. Now the movements have become more prominent. Initially they were quite very feeble. Now they are quite apparent, and you can see them very clearly. I'll zoom in, zoom out a bit, but that would bring things in a little perspective. Let it be zoomed in. So you can see the blood flow. This is the body fluid movement. So there is a constant body flow, body fluid flowing, while the animal is completely rendered immobile, and that is not because of any intoxicant or any anesthetic. It was all because of getting drowned. So my question here is, can we call this animal in this state comatose? You can see these. Oh my goodness, what are these cells? These are very peculiar cells that you can see. Hope somebody is able to explain them. These are some very unique structures. You see those cells? These are very unique structures. Uh, could be fat globules, but they are prominently nucleated. So these are cells. Could be flame cells, I don't know. I'm not sure. But the body is extremely active now. It's very active. It's very active, extremely active. It's not dead, of course. You can be sure it's not dead. Now, this is the ventral surface. That is a segment. That is a segment. This is a, I don't know, this must be some body structure inside with that prominent design of cells and a very prominent flow of fluids through it. This is one septum with prominent structures to hold the surface, provide friction for movement. And now we just go further down the body. I'll zoom out and then let me trace downside a bit more, trying to keep this body in focus. There you see the nerve endings. Very prominent movement. Though now, since the body mass is excessive, it is becoming difficult to see through. Perhaps here is the heart, one of the hearts. Must be having more than one heart. Almost a translucent body. You can see partly through it. And now we go to the down end, the extreme posterior extreme of it. I'll switch the top light. Doesn't make much of a difference here. Maybe this way it does. Not much. Not much. So we go back to the head. This is the head region again. I'll zoom it so that we can see the. Now the body is also showing some very prominent movements, some twitchings and twirlings, slight twitchings. There are bands of muscle near the face, the mouth. There is a prominent oral groove. When we go further down the body, we find the various sections. This is one septal region, and you can see some degree of, what is this? Body fluids moving around. Now this has become much prominent. More than one fiber is twitching. So I believe if I just let it stay, it would probably come back to its senses. Presently, it is not showing much of body movements, the outside body movements, but interiors, they are active, functioning, and you can see at least the heart is pumping. So it could be a brain dead fellow, or it could be comatose. That's why my query, is it a comatose, or is this particular larva in a state of coma? So that'll be all. Before I end up, I'll just come back to those cells which are very unique. These ones. Seems some sort of a rupture of a bladder. Some membranes. What could this be? What could be? Okay, before I shut down the streaming, I would also try to make a measure of this creature. So I'll take out my slide calipers. And I'll cut away from the microscope now. I'm cutting away from the microscope, and now I will just focus on the creature itself. Now I will just measure. That will be for my understanding also. The transparent light goes off, the top light comes in. Let the slide be forward here so that I can measure. So now we shall measure. Zero error. I'd rather move it for the sake of easiness. I hope you can see that. At least now. This fellow is about 71 millimeters. or could be 74 approximately. Yes, around 74 millimeters. 7.4 millimeters, not 74, 7.4 millimeters approximately, with an error of say 0.1 to 0.2 millimeters. All right, once again. Yes, it is around 7.4 millimeters. So, this creature, which is completely immobile, but without any particular intoxication or anesthesia, it had drowned and has become immobile, but its body functions are going on. At least the blood flow is continuously on. I believe it would survive. I have a few more of them. Some are actively moving around, like you see. This is their uniqueness, that they become springy and then they jump. They become in a sort of a loop and then they just jump around. A few are alive, few are dead. I don't know, dead or in coma, I'm not very sure. Meanwhile, I also found two snails which I'll be transferring to my terrariums, and I'll cut off the stream for the time being. I'll transfer this one also back to the slide, sorry, to the petri dish, and hope it lives. And yes, of course, I will transfer this. I would like to put on record that I'm transferring this little snail in my terrarium. So you need to see this. This is something quite crazy. This terrarium already has a few isopods, a few spiders, and at least one prominently looking snail there. I'll transfer these two also. There they go, and these fellows shall stay. Okay, thank you for being here. Maybe these fellows survive. Whatever the case be, I'll share with you. Over and out.